Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. Today we are taking a look at Umbral Core, an upcoming indie fighting game. So you may have seen this during EVO weekend as quite a few indie fighting game titles were showcased, and well, this is one of them. So what exactly is Umbral Core all about? Well, it's a fighting game, obviously enough, and it is a one-on-one game with a dark Gothic setting, so kind of like a horror vibe almost, if you will. And I had the opportunity to speak with the developers about the game itself and to learn about the game and everything that is upcoming in the future. So first off, definitely an indie title. The team, well, it's exactly 3 people, so not exactly hundreds of people like Capcom or, Bandai Namco or anything like that, right? And those 3 people, well, they're very into fighting games and they want to make their own fighting game, and specifically something in the dark fantasy mold. So they say their inspirations are things like Berserk, Devil May Cry, Castlevania, and Bloodborne. I think just from the footage you're seeing right here, I think that's pretty apparent. So success on that for sure. And the characters within this world are basically representatives of the world, right? Oh, kind of dark world, low hope, but trying to bring back the light kind of deal. There's characters like Byron, who's effectively, let's just call it what it is. He's effectively the Shoto, the Ryu of the game, if you will, the all-rounder. Has a lot of the tools you would expect, although a bit more aggressive because he has a command dash as well. He'll be the star of the upcoming playable alpha, which we'll talk about in a little bit later. But yeah, he's your main dude. And with the tune and the setting here too, Arm kind of lost the corruption, but he's making the most of it. We have Nier, who I already know in the comments. I know this is already your main character, right? So there you go. And this is meant to be your rushdown / mix-up character style of archetype. Specifically here, inspirations come from Jeddah, Gordeau from Under Night and Birth, and Cammy. So if you like those styles of characters, then this might be your kind of character. Also, visually very interesting, as you can see, like around the legs and the arms, like the porcelain skin's kind of cracking. I dig that vibe. We have Sigmund, who is the puppet character, very literally having the puppet here, as you can see. Very ornate design as well. Saying they're going for like a stately cathedral look with the character here, where the puppet master himself looks just as much as a puppet as, well, his puppet. They told me they're aiming for like a dark, creepy frame that just kind of presents itself as untrustworthy, and well, I think on that note they nailed it. Gameplay-wise, they'll be aiming for a lot of classic puppet style of gameplay. And Gragor the Orc, so first thing, they told me this straight up. Yes, they're aware visually he doesn't quite gel with everyone else with the dark fantasy setting, and he's up for a redesign. But the idea was they wanted a world where like orcs usually like big dumb barbarians, and they wanted a much more cultured, much more flourishing orc civilization. And speaking of cultured, he will be the grappler. Specifically, they have inspirations from Clark from King of Fighters and Ladiva from Grand Blue Fantasy. So that's a look at some of the early planned roster. Now let's take a look at the gameplay. So a lot of the core gameplay, I have it slowed down just so you can see a lot of it, is meant for speed. Air dashing, okay, you can run. The main character, the Shoto, has stuff like a command dash that you can do stuff from. So even basic kits are quite aggressive in this game. You may notice here, looking at the bottom, there's also several meters. So the purple meter is the meter you expect. It's the fighting game meter. You'll get EX moves, all that kind of stuff from it. Now, the other meters here, you'll see a red meter and a blue meter, and these are the Fury and Control meters. Basically an offensive meter and a defensive meter, and you fill them, well, in exactly that way. Offensive meter, you'll fill by doing moves, dealing damage. Defensive meter, blocking, teching, throws, anything defensive, that'll raise that. Your red Fury meter, you can use it to do things like cancel special moves into other special moves when normally you could not. And the blue Control meter lets you do things like parries. Fury and Control both have multiple bars, and if you have all the bars filled out and then burn them, you actually get installs. The Fury install, more chip damage, more damage across the board, and gives you access to unlimited special into special cancels, so that'll probably be pretty wacky. The defensive Control install allows for unlimited parries. Also, you don't take chip damage anymore, you can spawn a damage shield, and it turns all punishes into guaranteed counter hits. So basically, since there's effectively 3 styles of bar, 3 styles of meter, meter management is one of the main things of this game. So on top of the fast-paced gameplay, you gotta learn to watch those bars. So now, well, the everything else. 1, yes, there will be rollback netcode in case you were worried. We're in the new era now. Most games will have rollback, thank God, right? And they've said to me specifically there's no set input delay online. If you want to set the 0 frames input delay, if you want to set the 8 frames input delay, or whatever you want online, that is your choice. The game will let you do whatever you want. Also on training, so full online training mode, train online with your friends, and yes, hitboxes, hurtboxes, frame data, it is all there. Don't gotta pay extra. As far as the roster goes, so we went over the 4 characters they have currently planned at the moment, and they are aiming for a lot of the classic archetypes. However, the amount of characters in the game, well, it's based off this crowdfunding campaign they have planned. So hey, once again, they're just 3 people, not a big company, no big publisher, so they're saying later this year, they're aiming for November, they're going to start a Kickstarter campaign for the game. And you know how the deal goes, right? The more money they make, the more things they can do. More characters, more stages, more features, and they're planning for a lot of fun rewards for backers, including physical items. And also, when that Kickstarter campaign goes live, they will be launching their online alpha test. So it'll be 1 character at launch right away. It'll be Byron, who you're seeing on screen right now. Full rollback netcode, all that kind of stuff. You can just download it, go play, see how you like it. 2 stages, and yes, because I know a lot of people, they get up in their feelings about this. This online alpha test will have training mode, so you can practice away. So when the Kickstarter campaign happens, you can download the game, hop in the training mode, hop online, do whatever you want, see if it's for you, and if you like it, well then hey, go back to the game so they can make it the best game that it can be. Now that all said, I actually have a couple words from the developers themselves that they would like to pass along. 1, they're all about customization and they want that brought into the game itself. Little things like, hey, is there auto combos? Yeah, I know some of you guys hate auto combos. So if you hate auto combos, they let you turn them off. Simple as that. If your PC is strong enough to run this thing at like 300 frames a second, they'll let you do it. The game logic still runs at 60 so the game doesn't break. But if you can do 300 FPS, feel free, they let you do it. They are not a big company. Once again, this is just 3 people. They're just trying to make the best fighting game they possibly can, and they want you to enjoy it as much as you can. That's why there'll be a Kickstarter campaign, because they need the funds to help make the game, but that's also why there'll be the open playable alpha with online play, just so you can see if the game to you is worth backing. They are very receptive to feedback, and on that note, I'll put their Twitter link, their Discord, all that kind of stuff in the video description if you want to check that out. But in the end, they're just very passionate about fighting games, and they want to put out the kind of fighting game that everyone would want to play. And, well, that's about it. So I think this is a very interesting game. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made a video about it. I like the art style. I like the aesthetic. I like a lot of what I see and what's going on, and that's why I'm passing along to you guys so you can make your own judgment on that. Once again, check the video description. All the various details will be there from their Twitter, their socials, their Discord, all that kind of stuff. And other than that, well, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.